Now another question from our Zoom audience. Would you support requiring civics education as a graduation requirement? And that's first to you now.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. We need civics education in our schools. We need to make sure students understand how state governments work, how the federal government works, how school boards work, select board. We need that education. And, I think that, I got my own degree in political science, and I wish I could convince everybody to get their degree in political science, but I think that at a bare minimum, our kids need to know how our government works. And I think that one of the essential parts of a civics education is also the fact that you need to know how to carry on civilized and respectful conversations with other people when it comes to talking about politics. When I first served, actually, I'm kind of rambling on, going off topic, so I don't want to get off topic. But my answer to the question is yes, we need civics education.
Thank you. Tim.
Absolutely. How could you argue with that? It's actually rather shocking that it's not a requirement, to tell you the truth, from my perspective. And from a sorry to go back to it again, but from a select board perspective, I see on almost a daily basis people not understanding how even very simple processes and how they can appeal, something that's going on in a town, and the normal process is actually something that I've always done. My constituents will tell you that I'm the select board member who is always out there on Facebook, for better or worse, to whatever platform people use to try to educate people as to. This is budget season coming up in a month, so this is a good time to bring up some of these issues. Not on town meeting day, because town meeting day is usually too late. It's almost always too late, and then decisions get made hastily, and no one thinks that a hasty decision is usually a good one. So absolutely, civics is absolutely important.
Rick.
I think we're going to be 100% agreement here that we need to have civics engagement. The question then is exactly what does that look like? And I'm persuaded that the founders of this country they struggled, they argued with one another, they took their time to do that. But my goodness, the product they came up with was revolutionary. It changed the course of human history, and people want to flood into this country because of our representative constitutional system, with the power supposedly resides in the people at the closest level to where they live. And as you go in different levels above, the powers are supposed to be limited more and more as you go. We sort of worked the opposite direction. I think our kids need to learn that we had just basically geniuses. Now, they were not perfect. They made mistakes. They had compromises. Sure, let's talk about those too. But my goodness, the way things work and how they got to be the way they are absolutely critical. I think that's a big hole, and we need to fill that hole. Now, again, we're talking about possibly a mandate. So I'm not all that thrilled with mandates, but I think we need to address the need and look at how the best way to do that is.
Thank you. Mark?
Civics.
Yes.
Yeah, my goodness, they taught open Marxism in Leland and Gray. They did not teach civics and citizenship. Back in the 70s, mid-70s, they were running people to China, trying to convince people of the beauty of China. By all means, please bring back civics and citizenship. The Pledge of Allegiance to the flag and prayer in schools. Thankfully, they taught civics and citizenship in the Boy Scouts. And to the republic for which it stands, not the democracy, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God. We're Americans. We're not Democrats and Republicans. It's time to buckle up. Take care of America. Not destroy MAGA. What's that mean? Make America great again? Destroy, make America great again? That's what they're preaching, Protect our democracy, destroy MAGA. By all means, please bring back civics.
Thank you. Wendy?
We do all agree that civics education is critical. So yes, I agree with that. And as a local government person, I've spent a lot of my time letting residents know how their own local government works. And it's just so important that people understand that, because the local government is a government that typically has the most impact on your daily life, on your roads, on your schools, your water, library, I mean, parks. When I talk to kids about government, I ask them to give me some examples, and they're often surprised at what actually is controlled by local government. And then we talk about voting. Voting is critical. It's really sad how few Americans vote, how, I mean, people have died for that privilege. And we're happy if we get 55% turnout, and that's a big deal. So yes, we need civics, we need people to understand the importance. We need to look at the balance between federal and state and local. Yeah, the federal government has actually taken over a lot in the last 30 years that as a local government person, I object to. So to the extent that the state can equalize some of that, I would certainly help that happen. So yes.